The Firefighter of the Sky, Greece. The heat was an animal licking at the edges of Athens. The fires had turned the Attica sky into a furnace, painting the sun a terrifying bruised red that promised chaos. In the midst of this inferno soared a small, bright yellow water bomber piloted by Eleni Markou. For 48 hours, Eleni had refused to land for more than a quick refuel and a gulp of cold water. Her eyes, usually sparkling blue, were bloodshot and raw, stinging from the constant exposure to acrid smoke. Her arms ached with the effort of fighting the powerful, unpredictable air currents generated by the blaze. The cockpit of the old Canadair was her world, a rattling metal shell navigating a landscape of ash and fury. The smoke was so thick it was like flying through wet velvet. Sometimes she couldn't see the mountainside until she was dangerously close. Her focus, however, was absolute. Driven by the knowledge that every minute she rested, the fire devoured another field, another home. The cycle was relentless. Skim the sea at breathtaking speed to scoop up tons of water, then climb, turn, and plunge back into the thickest smoke to make the drop, a baptism of water against the devil-esque flame. As the second day blurred into night, Eleni received a desperate call. A fire front, pushed by an insane wind, was bearing down on the small ancient village of Pylos. Most critically, the flames were racing toward the village's heart, a tiny, whitewashed church that had stood on a rocky rise for centuries. To the villagers, it was more than stone and plaster. It was their sanctuary, the soul of their community. Eleni was operating on fumes, both human and mechanical. She flew through a vortex of wind and embers, aiming for the narrow, perilous gap between the last trees and the church's perimeter wall. The heat radiating up from the ground was so fierce it felt like it could melt the very wings of her plane. Through a momentary break in the smoke, she saw the church, a final, fragile beacon of white, with flames already licking at its wooden bell tower. There was no room for error. This had to be the final, perfect dousing. She dropped the nose, her heart pounding a violent rhythm against her ribs. She triggered the massive release, and with a guttural roar, the tons of seawater plummeted, creating a sudden, beautiful fog. Eleni pulled up hard, fighting the air, and glanced back. The fire, which had been seconds from claiming the church, hesitated, hissed, and then receded. The water had created a protective, impassable barrier. As she flew away, exhausted and shaking, the villagers, watching from the safety of the square, saw the silhouette of the winged aircraft, seemingly untouched by the chaos it had conquered. They did not see a machine. They saw salvation cutting through the red haze. From that day forward, the people of Pylos and the surrounding valleys never forgot the pilot who had pushed beyond human limits to save their sanctuary. They called her by a name whispered with awe and gratitude: Eleni Markou, the angel who flew through flame.